Hello, beautiful people of the world.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome.
It's podcast time.
It is podcast time.
It's another episode of Soaps and Sass.
It is, and I'm Baby Sass.
I'm Mama Sass.
And have we got a show for you?
Oh, gosh. She veggie-tailed it. We're going to get right into it. We're going to get right into it because...
We really are.
This week was emotional. This week was... I don't know if I would say hot, but it was emotional.
It was. There was things going on at the start of the week, but it was really... I would say the last 2 days, really what am I trying to say? Really ramped up the emotion, I'll say, is what I meant to say.
Definitely. So, let me start with the recap and we'll get right into it. We're going to probably stray a little bit from our regular format today. Yeah. Because there's just so much to talk about and it doesn't really fit the categories.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So, there will be some categories. But anyway, on Monday, Sunny and Carly get sad news. They found out that Monica had died. Anna receives shocking intel that the person, the John Doe in the hospital, is in fact Nathan. Cody has Brooklyn's number. That was Brooklyn allowing the dog to stay at the house. And Cody was like, you just want to see your son. Yeah, sure. Molly confides in Alexis that she's got a thing for Cody. And Britt is shaken because I believe it was Monday she got her meds. The week was so long, I don't even remember if that was this week, last week. But anyways. On Tuesday, Lulu seeks out Tracy to offer her condolences. Drew issues new orders to Martin. Basically, he wants a piece of the action with Monica's will. I don't remember if there's any other orders beyond that. Britt feels guilty. I will talk about that a little bit. Martin makes a mysterious phone call, which we find out who he called at the end of the week, but I don't know what that's going to be about. And Anna and Felicia debrief. We'll come to that in a little bit because that was quite something. On Wednesday, Tracy tempts fate. She is so upset she goes off to Atlantic City and is gambling. Ned and Brooklyn have a heart-to-heart, which was just very cringy.
Cringy? It was more...
We'll come to that because I have a little bit of categories, like I said. Yeah. Trina has questions for Jordan. Little girl, you so out of place. She basically wants to know what Jordan has to do with her parents falling out.
And even then, not really.
But Portia seeks out Isaiah because, as far as she's concerned, the marriage is over, and we'll talk maybe very briefly about that.
I hope not. I don't see the point.
I don't see the point either. But now she's ready to get with Isaiah. Felicia frets about James, which we will come to. On Thursday, the Qs in the community of Port Charles say goodbye to Monica, and the celebration of Monica's life continues. A surprise guest shakes things up. So we're gonna get into all of that, but let's go to the side stories of the week, the things that almost made no difference, but I think I will just say right now before I forget later. One of the things that I had read earlier and completely forgot and only came to mind in the very last scene of Friday's episode was the reason the writers held off all these months in
giving Monica her funeral and
right, having the character die, is that they were intending to spin off a whole bunch of storylines off of this memorial. And so we're already seeing the beginnings of that. Yeah. So I'll just put that out there. All right. So let's talk about it. Nathan, because I know that's where you want to go. Yeah. You just love you some Nathan.
I do. And so
Nathan woke up. Actually, before Nathan woke up. Before Nathan woke up. So Felicia. We'll start with Felicia.
No, actually, let's start with Anna. Just because.
Okay. Yes. Sequentially. Yeah. Go ahead.
So we see Anna. She's at the police station she's finally gotten the confirmation that yes, this is Nathan, and she calls in Nina.
I'm going to interrupt you very, very quickly because we neglected to say that this episode is recapping the episodes that aired the week of September 22nd to 26th. Yes. Okay. Continue. I'm sorry.
So anyway, so Anna's at her office. She got the results. It is Nathan. And so she calls in Nina. She doesn't call in Obrecht because with everything going on, she doesn't want... Britt, yeah, she doesn't want to add more to the plate. And also, as Nina stated, after she showed up, if they did call Liesl would just believe it immediately and not question anything. If they called Britt, it wouldn't help because they're questioning if Britt even knew about Nathan. So really, the best person to call is Nina because Nina's a little bit more logical. She's kind of on the outs.
How sad is that Nina's the most logical person? But you're right. You're right.
So and I apologize if I'm speaking very fast. It's a natural thing, and I'm kind of speaking a little quickly simply because y'all watched the episode, and if you didn't, I apologize.
Watch it. Right? It's a great week.
But yeah, so Anna basically explains to Nina the situation, that they had a John Doe, they took the DNA, the fingerprints and everything, and it came back as Nathan, and Nina does not believe her. Not one bit.
Not at all.
Not one bit. She's like, we had a funeral, we saw his body, like, it's been 7 years. No.
And Nina is ready to leave in a huff.
She's ready.
And Anna's like, look, just come and look at the man.
Right. And Nina's like, just so we're clear, if this is the case, the only, the one person I can think who would have a hand in this is Cesar Faison. And
we all know he's dead.
Right. And Anna's like,
yeah, his brain's in the jar.
I saw his brain in the jar. And Nina's like, how sure of you that was his brain? And Anna, 99%? I still don't like those odds.
That was funny. A little bit of comedy there.
Right. So anyway, Anna manages to convince Nina to go with her to the hospital to just see.
Just look at him.
Yep. Right. And while this is going on, Felicia is already at the hospital, greeting
her
Stella.
Job.
Yeah, greeting Stella, coming back and all of that.
Yep. And as we know, Felicia's patient advocate.
Right.
So she goes in the room.
So she goes into John Doe's room. And
woo! Nobody gave her a heads up.
Nobody could give her a heads up. Because Anna wanted to make sure it was him, so she didn't say anything, and Anna did not think Felicia would see him. But let me continue.
But that's my point. Anna should have thought, because that's her job.
Right.
And I mean both Anna and Felicia.
But anyway.
Yep, go on.
So, yes, Felicia walks into the room. Everybody, I say everybody, but it's I guess a doctor and a few nurses are there, just making sure he's okay, flipping him over and everything. And Felicia's got her notepad, and she's like, okay, so we got our John Doe, and na. And the minute she looks up and the doctor and nurse move away to give a view, her papers and binder drop to the floor. She's stunned. And the nurse is like, Felicia? And Felicia can't talk. She can't do nothing.
Can I? Listen. Okay, so, I'm sorry. I should let you finish. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce was the best. Sorry. So, as Felicia's going into shock.
Sorry, I can't believe you continued that. Because I was good when you're like, Beyonce had to, but it's like, once you, Mom.
Sorry,
we don't endorse Kanye on this podcast.
I'm not endorsing him at all. No, for me, it was just, every so often I like to let you know I'm aware of what's happening in pop culture. And I know that's old. I know it's very, very old.
That was 10 years ago.
It's been 10 years? Oh my goodness.
Yeah!
Okay, forgive me then. Forgive me.
Oh my goodness.
So, as Felicia's going into shock, this is when Anna and Nina arrive. Anna walks into the room and then she's like, fiddlesticks. And grabs Felicia and is leading her out of the room.
Right.
And I just want to say here, this is why I interrupted you and I'm sorry, is that Christina Wagner gave such an amazing performance in this scene.
She did.
Because Hannah guides her out the room and she looks at Nina.
And Nina looks at her.
Nina's still having her, man, this is such nonsense. And then Felicia and Nina's eyes connect.
And Nina became a believer.
Felicia's looking at her like, there was a momentary, did you know? Why didn't you say? And then I have no words. And oh my God, I think I saw, just all the expressions on Christina Wagner's face. She could not talk.
No, and honestly,
awesome.
Based on the look Felicia was giving Nina, being they were having a whole conversation, like we done do. Yeah. But it was like Felicia's like, is that? Did you know? Huh? And her bottom lip twitched as if she was gonna say something and just couldn't get the words out. She was too in shock.
She could not remember how to breathe. She could not remember how to blink.
Not even.
It was a lucky thing her legs knew how to move, because pretty sure her brain was not telling her how to do that.
Right. So
and Nina was just like, I gotta get in this room.
Right. And Nina's looking at Felicia like, if she's reacting to that,
who's this man?
Right. Yeah. Like you say, it looks like Nathan, but if that's the reaction, whoo, I best brace myself. So as Anna is guiding Felicia away so they can talk, Nina is looking into the room and just sees him lying there and is like, oh my God, that is possibly my brother. In which she then later enters the room and is sitting with him and everything like that.
And then Nathan wakes up.
Hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And then Anna and Felicia
Nathan wakes up.
Can you stop? Damn. So Anna and Felicia are having their conversation off in one of the conference rooms, being like is that Nathan? And Anna's just like, look, I didn't tell you. I'm sorry. I want to actually confirm it. Hence the blood test and the fingerprints. And Felicia's like, no. I understand that. That makes sense. But I should have told you, like, once I had the confirmation on that.
Yeah, Anna, you should have.
And then basically Felicia's like, what are we going to do with James? Like James doesn't know his dad. Like, he died before James was even born. And it's like, how am I supposed to do this? And Maxie is gone. And Felicia's kind of panicking a little bit. And like,
yeah, she was going far.
Yeah, she even mentioned how, like, Mac didn't say anything. And I'm like,
yeah,
but I'm like, how would Mac know?
I know Mac is at the police station, but I think Anna would have kept him out of the loop because she likes to keep people out of the loop.
Right, and also, even if Mac did know, he would not kept that from you.
No, he would not have. He would have told
especially
Felicia.
Knowing that this involves their family.
Yep.
He would not have kept that.
100% told Felicia.
No way. So, anyway, so they have their conversation, and then back with Nina, she's sitting with Nathan, and just, holds his hand, and immediately his hand moves, he starts squeezing, we look up, he opens his eyes, and he smiles, and she's like, Jay, and then
he's like, hey Nina, what's up?
But he doesn't say that yet. He doesn't say that yet. We went the next day.
We thought, oh right, because that was the end of the episode.
It was.
Yeah.
So on Monday's episode, it immediately starts with him, and I will tell you this: I would have found it hilarious, but also heartbreaking if he woke up and said, "Maxie."
Are you sure that was Monday? I thought that was Tuesday. But
no,
anyways.
It was Monday.
Okay.
And then.
No, it had to be Tuesday. Otherwise, we would have talked about this on Friday.
No, we wouldn't have.
We would have talked about this in the last podcast.
We talked about him waking up. We didn't talk about him talking.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
I'll go back to the notes. Okay, I apologize.
He woke up and he smiled, but that was it.
Huh.
Yes. So then she's like, I'm glad you're awake. We'll talk, there's so much to talk about, but I'm going to get a doctor first and everything. He's like, okay. So she leaves, finds Anna, and she's like, so whatever. It's like, that's Nathan. That's my brother. Like, he woke up. He said my name. Like, it's him.
Yes. And I'm going to object. Not that it's really relevant, but, just because I like to be right. This wasn't Friday's episode, because otherwise Nina would not have been coming to the hospital on Monday's episode.
That doesn't make sense, but okay.
A week ago Friday, Nathan was asleep.
Oh, he was?
Yes.
So all this happened on Monday?
Monday and Tuesday, yes.
Oh well. I'm like, things happened.
Yeah, they happened.
So our overall point is that Anna and Nina, they sit down with him and they talk with him and they ask him, like, what was the last thing you remember? And he's like, I remember getting shot, which we're like, oh shoot, okay. And
then he checks his chest and he's like, how am I healed?
Yeah, he's like, how am I healed? This isn't possible. And he's like, was that even a dream? And they're like, no, you were shot and you died. We saw a body, we buried you, we had a funeral, everything. I've been visiting you for the last 7 years. And he's like, what the ever-loving France is going on?
And he asked the important questions off the hop.
Which, he still got that detective
so
brain.
So Maxie don't know I'm alive?
So
no, that's where he started.
No, I know. But, well, he asked that after. Because then Anna's like, let's go over this. Like, this is the thing. You were in an accident. We checked the car. The car said it was towed, And
scrapped and blah, blah, blah.
And it was somewhere in Mississippi. He's like, Mississippi? Hence, there's like, so does Maxie know I'm alive? And he's like, no. Like so far? You, like, Anna, me, Felicia, and select people know you're alive. That's pretty much it. And they're like, but 7 years ago, Maxie, we were expecting a baby. Is the baby okay? And Nina's like, the baby is fine. The baby is now actually a 7-year-old boy.
Named James.
After you. James Malcolm West. And he's like smiling.
Yeah.
And we're like,
I was like, Malcolm? And it's like, oh, that's Mac's real name is Malcolm.
So yeah, named after the
Yeah.
So yeah, and I'm like, unfortunately that was it in terms of Nathan. Like, we really didn't get to see much. But later, after Felicia had finished her conversation with Anna, she went off to go find James, because James was with Cody at the Quartermain's house with the horses. Ooh. And she ended up talking to Cody and sent him in. Yeah, they sent James off to do a task that would keep him busy and not overhear the conversation. And she's like, I don't know what to do, because there's a man in the hospital who we believe to be Nathan. And if it is him, James doesn't know him, because James was born after he died, so he doesn't know his father. This is a complete stranger to him, and I don't know what to do. And Maxie's not here, and I don't know what to do. and basically Cody was like so sweet. He's like, hey,
Like, I love Cody.
Like, first, we'll figure out if it's Nathan or not, and then we'll move from there. And Felicia's like, but he's gonna be confused and scared and all this. And Cody's like, confused for sure.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Which I was really glad, because you and I were just like, no kidding, the kid's gonna be confused,
right?
You can't mitigate that.
Yeah, you can't avoid confused, scared, and every other emotion. We can handle that.
Yeah.
And James comes back. It's like, what am I gonna be scared about? It's like, it's okay, James. You don't need to know just yet.
I love James. I hope this actor, I hope they grow him up on the show the same way they did Robin, because this kid is fantastic. I should really find out what his actual name is. And I'm really
interested to see how that goes, because obviously you can't just throw Nathan and James in a room together and be like, hey, I'm your dad. And the thing that also kind of broke my heart a little bit, but was also more understandable, was at the end of that scene when James is finally leaving with Felicia, James stops and says, Cody, I wish you were my dad. And both Felicia and Cody kind of look at each other and give a look, because obviously they know that Nathan's alive, but it's like, it's a little, for me, it's a little heartbreaking, because it's like, oh, James. But it's also like, but it's also sweet and understandable, because, like, Cody really is like a father figure to him.
Yeah.
And is teaching him things that, like, Mac hasn't taught him, obviously, because Mac probably doesn't know much about horses and all that. But it's still like, oh, this sweet little boy. And I'm just like, whew, I'm a little stressed to see how that will go between James and Nathan. But I'm also really excited and hope that things go well, because obviously it's like, you have your dad, you haven't known your dad for 7 years, but your mom and your grandpa and your grandma have all told you stories about him. And even, I'm guessing, your Aunt Nina and your grandmother. So it's like, you know him a little bit. You just don't have that relationship. But I hope they grow.
Oh, absolutely. And I hope, I'm sure they will.
And I am also hoping that Nathan doesn't kind of, not to say rush it, but also it's kind of like...
well, again, they rewrite everything. But Nathan, back in the day, was not... The character was not the person to do that.
Right, which is why I'm just like, granted, but it's like, also this is his kid.
Yeah.
So it's also like...
In 7 years.
Right,
blah,
so
blah,
it's
blah,
like...
No.
So it's like, you'll look at him and you'll be like, oh my God. But it's also kind of like, hi James, I'm Nathan, or, I'm your dad, but you don't have to call me that. Or just like, let the ball be in his court.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. The actor that plays James is named Gary James Fuller.
Well, at least he can actually answer his name.
Yeah, exactly.
James, yes.
Yeah, really, really, really excellent child actor. And I hope things go well for him in his career and his life.
Yeah, so...
Because I like this kid.
Yeah. So that is the Nathan storyline front.
Yep. So we had a couple of other things that happened. So just sidetracking, we did have a Who Called for That moment. In your case, it was a character that we haven't seen for a few months that suddenly came back.
Yeah. Marshall came back.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I have nothing against Marshall. It's just, what is his purpose? Like all honesty, like when he first came on, great. It made sense. It's like, Curtis thought his dad was dead, but really he was doing this and that. And then you had the whole schizophrenia thing, which is great. And then he went on tour. And I was like, great. And that was it. I was like, okay, he's gone. No more, no needed. And then they brought him back and it's like, I like Marshall, but what is the point of bringing him back?
Absolutely. Like, as far as the storylines go, nothing apparent at the moment, but for Drew about to go on his rampage.
Even then.
Right, we can't see it, but that might be one of the storylines they're spinning, right? Because we know he's going after Curtis. We know this. So, it was really weird to have Marshall back, but I do think there's a purpose. We just haven't seen it. But what we also had with Marshall coming back, Dante showed up to question Curtis and just, dot all the I's, cross all the T's, supposedly, with respect to the night of Drew's shooting. And then Portia learns that Jordan and Curtis were together that night having drinks, which I'm pretty sure was after Portia and Curtis had their argument. And that's why Curtis called her. And now she vexed. But she blew vexed and she's gone. Yeah. And she's like, our marriage is done. I'm not doing this charade anymore. Bonfire upon you and all this kind of thing. I'm out.
Portia got mad again and it was like, why are you getting mad? You already said your marriage is over because of the whole Jordan thing. So I don't know why you're mad about him being with Jordan. Like, it's like you already took off your wedding ring. Like, I don't know how these people haven't noticed that she took it off. But she
must have put it back on because
she didn't.
They were going to do the fantasy, whatever.
I was watching the entire time.
That's fine.
But it's like she never.
I wasn't, so
she never put it back on. She's like, she's acting like the devoted wife because they said, "Are you willing to do this?" But she just like blew up at Curtis again. It's like you knew. You're like you've been having issues with Curtis about this whole Jordan thing from time. You should not be mad that he was out having drink, or you shouldn't be surprised because you're pretty much. I'm done. You've already gone and slept with Isaiah like what, twice now?
Exactly.
Like,
and that's what I remember. And maybe I've got my timeline ever so slightly skewed. He had drinks with Jordan. She had links with Isaiah.
Pretty much
that same night. So. Yeah. What she vexed for? I don't understand.
I don't either. So,
and then she went to the hospital. She told Jordan.
Basically, she apologized to Jordan. She's like, you know what? I've been putting my problems on you, and I'm blaming you for that. But you know what? It doesn't matter because my marriage is over. She really can. She really can. And even Jordan's like, you know, Portia, whatever's going on, keep me out of it. I'm not trying to get in the way of your marriage. I don't want to get in the way of your marriage. And Portia's like, I owe you an apology. Because honestly, the problems in our marriage is on me, and at this point, my marriage is over, and leave it at that. But I was like, cause seriously, when Portia ran to Jordan at the hospital, I was like, oh, what fight you gonna get into now with this woman?
Yeah, at least it was a different tone, but it still was just like, nobody cares.
No one cares.
Jordan don't care.
No.
As a viewer, I don't care.
I really don't.
So.
And anyway, now deuces. Portia's told Isaiah, look, I want to do this thing.
And Isaiah's like, I don't want to get hurt, and I don't want to lose my job, and I'm sure as shooting, not risking my job for links with you again.
Right. So he's like, let me think about it, and she's like, okay, no worries.
Yeah. So that's cool.
Still can't believe we just talked about it, even though I said I don't want to talk about it. Oh, and then briefly, Trina showed up at Jordan's place to talk to her about her parents and if Jordan had any hand in it. And she's like, no, I do not. Like, I'm really trying to stay out of it. But if your parents are breaking up, it's not because of me.
Indeed. And mind your business, because anything that you do could potentially send them to prison. So just stay very far away from it.
Right.
Will Trina listen?
No.
I doubt. I very much doubt. Okay. So if we flip over to the other main storyline, because I'm just looking through the notes and it's like I don't really see anything else.
If you're talking about the funeral, I do quickly want to go into Brit.
Yeah, that's where I was going to start with because that ties into that storyline.
All right.
So the beginning of the week, we have Jason showing up at Brit's place where she's taking her meds.
Actually, because before that, we see that she gets a box on the Monday from a surprise person.
Oh, I thought it was Friday, but that's kind of what we're saying.
Well, because she's taking her meds
that she got from this surprise box. But go on.
Yeah, so Britt shows up after being at the hospital to get her job back, and there's a present on her bed with a bow on it. She goes to look at it, and she sees what it is, and is kind of in shock. Then Lulu shows up so they can have a conversation about Rocco, and Lulu's trying to make peace. Britt's kind of
that was Monday? I feel like that was Friday. The week when you change storylines, or like they fast forward the storyline so fast, it seems like ages ago. So so you're saying that was Monday. All right.
So Lulu shows up to again make peace. Britt's like not having it. It's like, this is my son, and na. Anyway, they get into a whole tiff, and Lulu's just like, I'm done with this woman. I thought she changed after hearing all these things, but clearly she hasn't. So she leaves. Britt is like, oh, I can't with this woman. So she then goes back to the gift that she got. Excuse me. Opens it up. And inside the box is, I think there were 6 vials of the medication she would need to... for
Huntington's.
For her Huntington's. And there's a card in it, and it says, don't forget to take your medicine, signed C. Like, just the letter C. And I was like, this is not helping at all.
Right, because I don't know if they're trying to make us think Cesar is still alive.
This is what I'm saying.
This is what I'm saying. Is there a recast? Because I feel like Anders Hove died, but I don't know.
This is what I'm saying, because I'm like, the man's brain is in a jar.
Or so they told us, so,
I don't know.
I don't either.
Like, I'm very... And even at this point, oh no, but if it is Cesar and he's giving a drug to Britt for Huntington's, then he also must be taking the drug for Huntington's, so he's not...
Yeah, for sure. Oh, and the actor has not died, so, you know...
Well, anyway, so she ends up having these drugs, and the next scene we see her is the next day, and she's taking the medication when Jason shows up, and she's kind of getting on his case, being like, are you here to fix the window, and everything like that.
Yeah,
and
she's just full on Britch mode. Right. She's giving him the gears.
Right. So...
He's like, I'm here to pick up a suit.
Well, he's here. It's like, yeah, I can clear out a few things, but I'm mainly here to pick up something, and then I'll be on my way.
And he opens the window that she's keeping noise about, like nothing. He just flit, or closes it. Yeah, rather. Closes it.
Anyway, so he grabs the suit, and she's like, "Oh, what? Like, you need the suit for
a mob meet?
Yeah, mob meet and greet or something."
That was hilarious.
And Jason's just like,
all the sass.
Not even all the sass. Like,
not Jason. She.
No, I was saying, and Jason's like, and then you said all the sass, and I was like, that's not what I'm saying.
No. I'm just saying Brit's all the sass with the, you need it for mob meet and greet. That she thinks she's so funny, blah, blah, blah.
Right. And then finally she like looks at Jason, and Jason's like, my mom died. And immediately she loses all that fire.
Yeah.
And is like, oh, I'm so sorry. And they actually have a brief moment, a heart-to-heart, and all that.
And Britt immediately feels guilty because she's like, wait, the whole time you were in Croatia, you came back to help me. You could have been with your mother. And he was like, I was exactly where I wanted to be. Don't even...
I was exactly where I needed to be.
Yep. He's like, don't even fret about that. I don't have any regrets.
Right.
On that front, which I thought was very nice of him to say.
Yeah.
But what I find really, really interesting is suddenly, you know, every time Jason speaks about Monica, it's my mom. Okay, stone cold, thug life, executioner. My mom?
No, but
you almost see him walking around with a teddy bear dragging on the floor in his hand, like my mom.
Right, but
not my mother.
But either way,
I'm just saying.
Yes, stone cold, but in this case, I think we can put a pin in stone cold.
No, agreed. But, you know, he could say the same thing like Monica, that with the same affection, because he's only ever referred to her as Monica as far as I know. He does not talk to people about his mom.
Understandable. But in this moment...
He doesn't even talk to other people about my mother. He calls her Monica all the time.
Right.
So why is he suddenly flipping?
Because it's one of those things where it's like... I guess it's like I've always referred to them by their name, but it's like it's always put distance.
Yes.
So it's like, but right now it's like I don't want distance. I want that closeness. So he's referring to her as
my mom. Yeah. It's like, is it to show us that he's now having that realization of just how much she loved him?
Probably, yeah.
Which, you know, as we do the flip side with Drew. Drew's going through a similar experience. You know, and I'm going to use similar very, very loosely.
I would hope so.
But he also is in the hospital, and it's like, no, Monica was my mother. She's the only mother I knew, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, but, you know, like, it's a little, for me as a viewer, it's a little less genuine. But as he talks about it, and I'm going to, I already said this to you, Baby Sass. I was vexed at the end of the week. Because I've made no secret to regular listeners of this podcast, I don't like Cameron Matheson, the actor. No. For reasons that I honestly cannot explain. Like, my spirit simply does not take to the man.
I don't think you need a reason to not like somebody.
No, right?
Because honestly, if it's one thing is if you meet somebody, or you see somebody and it's like you just have like this neutral feeling, like it's not, you don't like them, you don't dislike them, you get to know them, it's like you become friends and then they do something dirty,
right? But that's kind of my point.
Whereas with Cameron Matheson, it's just like a gut instinct, it just hits you
exactly. But that's just my point. This is an actor that I've only ever seen through the screen. It's not like I passed him on the streets of my city and, you know, he tripped me, I was like, oh, hello, Mr. Matheson, and he did me dirty. I've never met this person.
It doesn't matter. I've never met Mr. Beast. And Mr. Beast has rubbed me the wrong way.
Yes.
Ever since he first came on the scene.
Okay, but wouldn't you say that's because of his behaviors?
I don't, not even. I'm like,
oh, okay.
Because again, it's like, I don't really watch his videos. Like, I just see, like, I mostly would see his face, and I'm just like, I don't like you. I don't know what it is, but just, you don't give me a good vibe. And I've only ever looked at his face. Yeah,
and that's fair.
And then lo and behold, all this stuff comes out about the man, and I was like, I had a feeling since the day you popped up on the scene.
Sure. Okay, and I don't even know what stuff you talk about. Don't want to know. But the point I was getting to is, I made no secret that I don't like the actor. Certainly, I don't like the character, the way he's being written. And at the end of this week, I was actually feeling very sympathetic towards him, and I was not happy about it. Because this is the thing. Just like Jason, just like Tracy, just like Ned, so he himself, the character, values that relationship with Monica, even though he was doing all this dirt.
Uh-huh.
He perceives her as his mother, so for me, he had just as much right to grieve and be sad by her loss as anybody else.
Right. Not disputing that.
Where we kind of parted company was, he felt, as we see later in the week, and I apologize if I'm jumping ahead of anything you want to say.
No, you might as well go.
He felt he had a right to be at the memorial service.
Right, which I've been saying all week. This man better not show up at the memorial service, because he does. It's very, like, even Martin said, I don't think anyone's gonna want you there. It is a private service, and he's just like, it's my mother. I have the right to be there. But
and so I feel there's a strong part of me that feels, yes, he absolutely did have a right to be there. It's a family gathering. Did Monica still consider him family?
We can't say by
hard
the point
to say,
of this.
But she definitely did at one point.
Yes.
We know that. The challenge I have with it, though, like, I don't quite agree with Tracy putting him out. My problem was, you were late. You came in making a grand entrance, which I think is just completely out of order. And you weren't discreet about it. Like, yes, you have a right to be there, but then don't go and antagonize everybody by your arrival. You had a right to be on time. You come in very politely and humble yourself a little bit and be like, listen, I know we have beef, but I considered her my mother. I would like to just say my goodbyes. I'll sit to the side or whatever. You don't even have to be sitting in the front row, because you really don't. But I would really appreciate, despite everything that we have going on, to be here to be able to say my goodbyes. I think he should have had the right to do that. But then again, at least here we have viewings. He could have come and done that beforehand.
And the thing is,
why are you late?
And I was gonna say, he could always go to her grave, but she's gonna be buried in the crypt
on the property,
so that's not happening.
Which is something else we're gonna come to.
Ugh, that I have a theory, and I don't like the theory, so
I have a beef.
Anyway, but the way, so Drew's talking to Martin about this, and it's like, and what I love is that Martin basically says to him, it's like, you're talking about going, and you haven't even left the hospital room yet, and you're angry, and you really want to take that to your mother's funeral, and Drew's just sitting there. Yeah,
Martin came with all the good and sage advice.
And I still laugh at it, because, like, Martin had said at one other point, it's like, I'm not your therapist, so... Yeah. But you will be paying me for this, so bye. So I'm like, you're here, basically being a therapist. You haven't done any legal stuff, so I hope you're getting paid for that.
You should get them checks on the daily. Every day you get a check, and you go and cash it and make sure it clear. Don't come back until the check clear. Right. But going back in the timeline, so early in the week, Tracy couldn't take it anymore, right? Everybody she loves has died.
Yep, she lists them off. She's like, all my father, my brother,
her age that she loves have died.
Yeah, she's like, my father, my mother, my brother, Gregory, my Luke, my other man, and now Monica. I'm done.
Right, and so she takes off for Atlantic City, as we said earlier,
to do some gambling.
The family's like, hey, we haven't seen Tracy. What's up? Lulu and Brooklyn start putting their heads together, and they're having a conversation. Brooklyn's like, I know, Lulu is, I know where she is.
Oh, I thought it was Brooklyn who said it, but
no,
okay.
It was Lulu, because that's where Tracy and Luke used to go.
Right.
So that's how Lulu figured it out. So
Ned makes a call.
Yep.
We didn't know who he called.
Well, you didn't know. No, I knew who he called.
I didn't know who he called, because I didn't know where Tracy was, so it didn't make, so it's like, based off where she is, who you calling?
I didn't know. I had no idea where Tracy might have gone, but I was like, he called Lois.
You did tell me that.
Yep. And sure enough, So what I found really, really interesting, I thought this was a super cool plot point. So Tracy's in Atlantic City vexing a card dealer, playing 21. Lord. Lois shows up and finds her, and, of course, Tracy is thrilled and delighted to see Lois. And as Tracy's playing 21, Lois throws out this random fact, which, because it was so random, I clocked it and wrote it down. And she says that about 69% of the time, when you have 17 on blackjack, the next card will cause you to bust. Random fact, she throws that out. So then anyway, Lois goes about her business when Ned and Brooklyn show up.
Yep. Brooklyn and Lois talk, and they kind of, they don't work things out, but they have a nice conversation.
Right.
And whatever.
I just want to put a quick pin there because I want to come back to Ned and Brooklyn because that was my who called for that.
Right. But
anyway, so Ned is talking to Tracy and basically convinces her to consider coming back for the funeral because she's going to regret it if she doesn't go. And Tracy's like, okay, you know what? We'll let the cards decide if I go to this funeral or not. And has a 17. And I was like...
And she says, if I win, I stay.
No.
No, she said, if I lose...
If I lose, I stay.
If I win, I go?
If I win, I go to the funeral.
Oh.
Because... The fact that Lois said was 69% of the time you're going to bust.
No, I know. It was more in the sense of, I couldn't remember if she said if she wins, she stays. If she loses, she goes. It was kind of that.
No, because she didn't want to go. So she wasn't going to put the odds that she would lose, which was 69% chance she was going to lose. So anyway, we didn't actually see the cards play out, which was very disappointing. Cause I was like, for sure she's going to be at the funeral. So she's going to get I was looking for a 21.
Right.
Honestly.
And the funny thing about it is she says what she says about the cards and if she'll stay or lose or whatever. And before Ned even showed up, Lois had paid the dealer to go take a break. And as the dealer is leaving, he has this exasperated look on his face, like, finally this woman. But it's like so quick.
Background. You like your background actors.
I really do. But it's so quick. And then, anyway, so then Tracy says, if I win, I will go. If I lose, I will stay. Which then you're like, oh, we know what's gonna happen. And then you're talking about
to see that play out.
I did. And then you're talking about it's like, oh yeah, but the dealers are trained to do all this and that. And you remember seeing the guy's face. He wants her gone. He's gonna let her win.
Yes, absolutely.
I was like, fair enough.
And so I wanted to see that. I wanted to see him pull the 5 and give her, give her 21.
There were 2 things that happened this week that we want to see and we didn't get to see. We didn't get to see that, and we didn't get to hear the story Jason was telling the people about Monica.
Right, which comes later. But I want to go back to the plane. The who called for that? So Ned and Brooklyn are on the plane to Atlantic City, and he, Ned's like all serious and everything. I need to tell you something about me and Monica.
And Brooklyn's
like, okay, and he's like, yeah, me and Monica had a relationship. And Brooklyn's like, man, everybody doesn't know that. That's not a big secret. That's family lore. That's pretty much written on our Christmas cards every year.
That's written in stone. We know.
Right? And then he starts going into detail, and she's like, I don't need to know more than that. No, but I need to tell... It's like, Ned, why are you traumatizing your child? This grown woman told you she don't need to know more about the relationship. It's already got a massive ick factor. Just let it go.
And then finally, he's like, no, but I got to know Monica in a deep way compared to everybody else. I knew, I got to know her as a friend more than just family.
I understood that, Dad. You don't need to tell me anymore.
It's like, yes, I got to know Monica in a deep way. Yes, we know. You got to know her in a biblical way. We get it. It's like, no! It's like...
Honestly, it's like... what was the point of that story?
It's like, she and I actually became friends and we were close. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. And it's like,
then why did you say that?
Right? Why did we need the whole...
And, perhaps it's for viewers who may not have been around back in the day.
Right.
But it's like, no, but this has come up any number of times, and I think it's come up a couple times in the last couple of weeks. So unless you're tuning in today, I don't know why you needed all that backstory. It was too much.
It was
too much. But anyways, so fast forward, because I don't know if there's anything relevant between all of that when the funeral service actually happened.
No.
People made a big deal of Jason being the greeter at the church. And
I don't think it was made a big deal. I think it's just because, he doesn't really, I think it's more like he wanted to thank people because Michael was already dealing with everything else. But
he said it was important to him to greet because his mother would have appreciated it.
Right. Yeah. So making a big deal about it isn't what I would really say.
Well, because everybody was like, we know this is hard for you, Jason. Like the greeting, because it's not what he doesn't enjoy that sort of thing. He's not gregarious that way. Okay. Although he talks a lot more since the actor came back than he did before the pandemic. But anyway,
I'm like, Jason needs to be Jason needs to go back to quiet Jason. He need like, I'm like, I attribute Jason as Geralt of Rivia from season 1 of The Witcher, because Geralt didn't talk. He made grunts and stuff, but he didn't talk.
With pretty much Jason.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like, it's so weird to hear him having as much dialogue as he does. I hope he's getting paid extra for it.
But also one thing I will say that I had been asking, especially like all of Thursday and a good chunk of Friday, was I was like, where are the kids? Like, where's Danny and Rocco and all of this? And then finally,
we found
Portia had asked the question, and Elizabeth said, "Oh well, it wouldn't have been." That they had decided that they didn't want the kids to be there, especially since Scout and the restraining order. When I was like, nobody cares. Like I get it, but I think y'all can make an exception for the fact that her grandmother died. I don't think they're gonna.
But it wasn't about the family. The person who needed to make an exception was Drew.
And Drew's in the hospital and
showed up at the funeral. So imagine he showed up at the funeral as he did, and found his child there, and they put him out.
Screw him.
Everybody would have landed up in jail.
Too bad.
I see. Okay.
I'm like, they would have made bail. Anyway,
I think they made the right decision,
and they did. I think based on the explanation that they gave, it made sense, especially because like some people couldn't be there, like Jake. But
yeah, and again, sorry, I cut you off.
But and even the little kids, I'm like, I think like Amelia and Wiley, I think would have been way too young for that anyway compared to Scout. But in the end, I think it was a fair decision.
Absolutely, and.
Though Dante did keep annoying me, being like, "Oh, and Monica, she was so grateful for letting me, Danny, and Scout move in." I'm like, it's more letting you and Rocco move in, since Danny and Scout are her grandkids. She wouldn't have cared.
Right.
She would have let them in any time.
She would have. But I would just want to again give a shout out to the writers and the crew. Well, I guess the writers really for that throwaway line. Explaining why the kids weren't there. It is, as a viewer, it is so appreciated. It's like, there are questions we are going to ask.
Yeah.
You just need a quick line to explain it, and if you have these in there regularly, stop letting them land on the cutting room floor.
Right, because
it's important.
Right, because already, it's like we didn't see any adult aside from Elizabeth telling Jake, and even though we didn't see Jake's reaction, but aside from Elizabeth telling Jake and inadvertently telling Danny, we didn't see any parental figure tell their kid that Monica had died. So
what kids left?
Well,
you still talk about Scout and
yeah,
Wiley,
it's like Scout, Wiley, Amelia. Like
yeah, but
so again, or even Leo. But even then, it's kind of like, okay, essentially they know. So it's like just a few things. It's like.
Yeah, I don't know that would have added anything to the story of some.
I don't think so either, but it's like
Scout. But I did find it interesting that Willow did not put in an appearance this week, and it goes back to my who called for that or what'd you do that for from last week. I don't understand why it was Liz that told Drew and not Willow that told Drew that the mother had died. I don't understand that. I would have thought we would have seen Willow there.
We'll see her next week.
Yeah, more than likely. And
it's October. She's got a hearing coming up. We gotta see her next week.
True. Something else went through my mind about Drew and Willow, but anyway, not really relevant. It'll circle back. But what I found really great was also the development of the Geo storyline and how he's slowly starting to come back to the family. And by virtue of I remember what it was now. And by virtue of all the I'm going to call them testimonies that were given about Monica and the family at the funeral. And you could see how they were affecting Gio as he heard them and how they came together and so on.
I think Jason's was the most impactful because Jason was talking and it panned to Gio like 2 or 3 times,
right,
in which Gio was kind of like glancing over at Brooklyn the entire time too. So like I think out of all of them, Jason's resonated with Gio the most, and I like that because there was a point where I was even saying, I was like, look at Brooklyn, and then he finally did. I was like, that's all I needed was just a quick glance. And then there was a point in time where he did it again, but he looked back immediately, like to the front.
Yes,
and I was like,
because Brooklyn was looking at him.
Right, exactly. And I was like, because I was like, oh, why you look back so quickly? And then pan to Brooklyn. I was like, oh, okay, no, I get it.
But they had gone to Brooklyn first. See, this is what you miss when you're in your phone as the episode's going. So they had gone to Brooklyn first. Mm-hmm. She had tears in her eyes for whatever story was going on. And she looked over at Gio kind of like, oh, my baby, I miss you. Right? I love you.
No, I saw that.
And then he looked at her and was like, oh, she's looking at me. And then looked off. And then it went back to Brooklyn again.
No, I saw that, but he wasn't looking at the time. And then they panned to someone else and then panned to Gio.
Right.
Which is why I was like, but
yeah, so I like how they're developing that story. And he was like, Monica was really good to me. She welcomed me into the house
before even though
there was like no connection, whatever. And like, she treated me like family, and I really appreciate that.
For me, the thing about that though is I'm like he has to aside from I'm just like there's a few people in your family who welcomed you with open arms and didn't know you were related. Aside from Olivia, obviously, because like she watched you grow up, so it's like aside from people who were in your neighborhood when you were growing up, so it's like Ned didn't know. Obviously, it's like Michael and them didn't know. Monica didn't know. Like all these people welcomed you with open arms.
Yeah.
Before they even knew, and they still care about you and everything. But the other there was something. Wait a minute. But because Tracy had said to Gio when Gio showed up, it's like, Monica and we talked about you a lot. Mm-hmm. And one thing we both agreed upon was that we were glad you were there. And so for me, it's just like, yes, you and Tracy fought a lot on but mainly on the fact that, granted she did say a few times, like, you're an outsider and whatever, but it's still like, she still liked you being there, even if she didn't know that you were her great grandson.
Absolutely. She had respect for him, and she told him so.
And then he told him,
you stand up for what you believe in, even though we don't agree on what that is.
Right. And and he said that too. It's like, it's moments like this that make me proud to be your great grandson. And it was just like, he's slowly coming around. That's what I'm saying.
So they're building that story. So I'm liking that. And I remember what I forgotten earlier was with respect to Liz. Like, I don't understand what Liz
was sitting in the front row.
Well, yes, that's where I'm going. But it's like, I don't understand what her position is in this family, and she seems to be taking roles that don't belong to her. Right? Like telling Drew that the woman died, and now she's sitting in the front row at the funeral. Brooklyn and Ned are in the back row, or second row. Brooklyn, Ned, and Chase.
No, Ned was in the front. It was Chase, Brooklyn, and
I don't remember who, but anyway,
Dante. But see, while I understand, it's also weird because apparently these pews only fit 3 people per pew. But also it's like, I can kind of understand Elizabeth sitting in front only because she's Jake's mom. So she would have had that close relationship with Monica because she's Jake's mom.
Closer than Brooklyn? Closer than Chase? I don't think so.
Brooklyn didn't really grow up in the Quartermain house, though. She grew up in Bensonhurst most of her life.
But she's more family than Liz.
No, and understandable.
That's my only thing. It's like,
no, I hear you.
Out of order. You should have been second row at best.
I hear you. I hear you. I am not debating you. I'm just saying, I'm giving a plausible reason for why she could be sitting in the front.
Sure. And you know what? That's functional fixedness, as your father used to tell me. It's like, why are you standing on this kind of ceremony? It's based on what? Nothing. Is there a seat available? Yes. You got a BAMC? Yes. BAMC meet seat. It don't matter who the BAMC belong to, right? I'm just, so it bothered me, but yeah, that you're right. So
right.
Yeah, I don't know if I have anything else to add. Really.
No, okay.
It was a great thing for the whole week. Like,
it was. I'm gonna go over a few things that had me either like comedy or had me hot.
Go ahead.
So quickly in the had me hot section. One, and you're gonna agree with me on this one, Portia's outfit.
Oh my mercy! Oh my mercy! Oh my mercy!
I will simply say, if y'all didn't watch, y'all need to go check out the funeral because Portia, see, okay, I'll say this.
What?
Her outfit was
it was beautiful.
It was beautiful. However,
it was not funeral beautiful.
No, if you took off the lace mesh on the top of her dress,
oh my god,
the girl looks like she's ready to go out to the club. I will say that.
She was wearing a beautiful dress with the dress in and of itself. If you want to talk about the core of the dress, it was I would call it a sleeveless dress with a sweetheart neckline.
I feel like she had sleeves.
No, it did have sleeves.
Okay.
But I'm talking about if you talk about the core of the dress itself.
Right. The black part of the dress you mean.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Right?
Yes.
Sweetheart
black
dress.
Sleeveless sweetheart dress, yes.
Then somebody tack on a top piece that's straight lace with lace, so see-through.
Yep.
Because with the sweetheart neckline, you know that it's there and it shows your cleavage.
Yep.
But this sweetheart was not to the top.
Nope.
So for me, she had 3/4 of her chest out.
Yep.
And then we've got this lace Peter Pan collar top.
Yep.
With sleeves. And the sleeves were all lace. Everything was lace. And it's like, what is happening?
If you take out the lace, the girl looks like she's ready to go to the club. It was not. It was beautiful.
Even with the lace, she was ready to go to the club. She was not going to any funeral.
No, it did. But honestly, it kept being like, girl, what was the point of the lace?
Every time this woman came on the screen, I was like, what are you wearing? I was so distracted.
Like,
so distracted.
And here's the thing. And then Felicia came in and we're like, why didn't you put on something like Felicia got on? Felicia's at least got more coverage. Like my girl, come on. And again, and here's the thing. It's like, women, wear what you want, but there's some situations where,
to me, this just was so immodest. And again, me judging McJudgerson, I know, but I'll tell you what, if I was having a funeral for a family member and you turn up in that, I just might put you out. And if I don't put you out, I'm talking about you for the rest of the week. I'm sorry. If I'm that kind of petty, I'm talking about you for the rest of the week.
Or I'm giving you a shawl.
Something.
It's like, wrap up. I'm like, I'm sorry. You're too. It's like, hey, to each their own. But I'm sorry. Nope. This is giving a little too inappropriate for this situation.
That was not church clothes. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
So I did say you were going to agree with me on that one.
Yes.
The other one was, and this was more everyone's reactions, because it was comedy. It's like everyone reacting to Lucy getting up and going to the top because Tracy did not want to speak.
Was a trip.
It's like everyone gets so. Ned gives
Felicia
his speech.
Poor Felicia. Felicia wanted the ground to open and swallow her up so many times during this.
It's like Ned gives his speech. Laura gives her speech. Elizabeth gives her speech.
Michael,
and then Jason and Michael went after Lucy.
Oh,
they both went after Lucy,
right? Because they were all waiting for Tracy.
Exactly.
Right.
Everyone's looking at Tracy. Tracy's like, "What?" And they're like, "Go." She's like, "No." And then Lucy, she's gonna regret it. She don't speak.
Yeah, let me buy her some more time. Oh my god.
So Lucy goes up and it's like,
so you know what? I think even before Lucy spoke, I think Lucy was figuring just by virtue of her getting up, Tracy would go and snatch her ball and take over.
Maybe she's like, but here's the thing. So it's like, honestly, I'm not surprised. The minute I saw Lucy, I'm like, oh, I hope this woman don't speak, but she's gonna speak. She's gonna do something to make her to get up and go speak. So she got up and went to speak, and she's like, she's already going. She's like, Monica and I were enemies. But, you know, Monica and I shared a lot of things. And everyone's looking at her like, don't you dare say it. The nurse's ball. We shared our love for the nurse's ball.
Yeah.
And everyone released like a breath. The collective breath. And then you have Dante like, oh no, he might have been looking at like when Drew showed up, which would make more sense. But anyway, everyone's releasing the collective breath. And she's going and going. You know, and then she's like, but and we also shared Alan.
Okay, well, I guess you're going to go there. But I will say, up until that point, we shared Alan. Lucy gave an amazing tribute. It really was.
It was good.
And it was good because it was stuff I did not know about. And I did like the flashbacks that they were playing over her speech and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, over everybody's speech. They had some really nice flashbacks.
It was good. And then she's like, yeah, Monica and I shared Alan. And everyone's like, she said it. It's like, yeah, we know you shared Alan. Anyway, she gives the rest of her speech. She sits down, and then Jason goes up, which is when he gives his heartfelt speech, which leads Gio to be doing the glances over. And then everyone's looking at Tracy again, and they're like, Michael, go! And he's like, but don't, he's like, I'm good. We all agreed you'd be the last one to go. Go! So he then gets up, he gives his speech, and again, so if no one else wants to speak, everyone glances at Tracy, and Tracy's like, no, I'm good, thank you. He's like, okay, then please come join us at Monica's house. Everyone just making digs at Monica's house, man. I say Diggs.
That was the running gag, right?
I know. And then it's like, if no one else speaks, and then he proceeds to step down. Wicked Drew of the West shows up, and he rolls in, and everyone's like, what the? And he goes to the front. I am Drew Quartermain, and I am here to pay my respects to my mother, Monica. In which Mike, everyone's sitting. Michael's at the podium, and then he says, "I'm here to say give my goodbyes to my mother, Monica." In which Michael shoots forward, Jason shoots up, and then Tracy shoots up as well. And she's like, "Hold up,
left it."
And then she's like,
"You know what? Again, sorry, I thought of something else. But again, with Drew coming in, it's like, why do you need to address the crowd? You can't just take a minute, walk over to the walk. I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. Wheel over to the casket and say and then yourself out. Like, why are you facing the crowd to make a speech? Like, what?
Because that is who he is.
Yes, I know.
So, anyway, then Tracy stops Jason and Michael from doing anything foolish and is like, your name is Drew Kane, and you are not a member of this family. And then stands behind him and starts wheeling him out. And the man's like, what are you doing? I'm like, don't you have a brake on your wheelchair? So I don't know why you're not braking for one. But anyway, he basically gives an exasperated sigh and lets her wheel him out. And then she's like, you are not wanted here. You are detestable. Bye. Proceeds to walk back into the church, closes the door, and everyone's looking at her, and she's like, well, I guess I'm up.
But I will also say, before you continue with Tracy, the one thing I was really surprised, I mean, Drew just took 2 slugs to the back.
Yep.
He's wheeling himself?
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
and he got shot, 2-3 days ago?
Right. That's what they said. It was like 2 days.
This is what I'm saying. The man shouldn't have been at there.
I don't even understand the timeline sometimes.
This is what I'm saying. The man got shot 2-3 days ago. He should not have the strength to be wheeling himself, nor should he be.
That's where I was going.
Which is why when Martin shows up, he's like, well, where are you going all dressed up? It's like, the nurse, And I'm like, oh, so you're leaving against medical advice because you should not be leaving. Next, he's back at the hospital in his hospital gown in the hospital bed. It's like, oh, so clearly you know that you should not have left.
Right, but I was more like, you didn't want to hire somebody to push you? Like, you couldn't call Kai and say, come and push me to the funeral? Why are you pushing why are you wheeling yourself? You shouldn't be. I wouldn't have thought you were able to do that after 2 slugs to the back. Make it make sense, General Hospital. Make it make sense.
Anyway.
Yes, so Tracy's up.
So Tracy's up. She's walking to the podium as she's giving a few words. And in the end, after being very adamant about the fact that she was not going to give a speech, she gives a speech, and it is a beautiful speech, and she ends off saying, she wasn't just my sister-in-law. In the end, she was my sister. Yep. And she's like, and basically she's like, it is your house, essentially. Yeah. And so they all go back to the house, give their condolences, everyone's having a good time, everyone's talking.
Gio shows up at the house.
Gio shows up, everyone's reminiscing, everyone's talking. Gio talks with Ned about music and all of this and all that. Makes a comment being like, you got your musical talents from me, not your mother.
Right, but so this was the other thing that I thought was really cool. Again, baby steps to that reconciliation and building that relationship. And so Ned was very clear, okay, yes, we're family, but I'm not looking to, I want to get to know you. You set the timeline.
Yeah, he's like, if and when you're ready, come
find me.
Yeah.
But otherwise, know that I'm here, but I'm going to be over in a corner. You need to come to me. I'm not, I'm not coming to press anything.
Right. So essentially, to finish off Friday's episode as a whole, the Quartermain family, for those who remain, give one final cheers to Monica, and Jason gives his, sneaks off a little bit to the stairs to give his final speech to Monica before he takes his drink. Tracy ends up sneaking out at some point, and she had snuck out to go to the family crypt, and while she's there, she notices that the door is cracked open, so she's like, who the hell? So she walks up into the crypt, sees somebody standing there, and it's like, who are you and why are you trespassing? And there's just some woman in the crypt.
Yes.
And we're like, who the hell are you?
So for you, it's just some woman.
For me, it's just some woman who I'm trying to figure out the connection between her and Monica.
We don't know the connection. No idea. But this is another one of those stories that they're spinning off. So Erica Slezak from One Life to Live has now joined the General Hospital cast and crew. I did not do any kind of research to know what character she's playing. What's the connection? I'm going to wait and find out with everybody else. But it's Erica Slezak. Like I said, she was like one of the or if not the matriarch on One Life to Live, because I didn't really watch it, but
and
another ABC soap.
Right. And from what it's appearing, based off what Drew said about the Quartermaine legacy and everything gonna crash and burn, he's gonna be there to watch. So that was said, and then as Mom says, Erica shows up. So I'm wondering how that's gonna, happen.
Yeah, indeed. The other thing, okay, so like I said, we didn't really have categories.
No, we didn't.
So I don't know quickly if you have a hero of the week.
I would say I would say pretty much I'd give hero of the week. And I know you say we can only have one person, but I think in this case, based off of these episodes,
will allow it.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jason, Michael, Tracy for their beautiful speeches because they were beautiful and just tear-felt and oof.
Okay.
Oh, and Nathan waking up and remembering at least that he's Nathan.
I don't really have any heroes, but I suppose if I pick one, I pick Cody for just being an awesome uncle to James.
Yep.
Do you have a Kesakakera or Delulu?
I did. I don't remember who it was, though.
Okay. I Drew for thinking he could go to the funeral.
Well, there's that, but
that's okay. Yeah, maybe it'll come back next week or before we sign off today.
Who knows? But definitely, I will also give a shout out comedy moment. I say shout out comedy moment, but definitely a comedy moment to Dante, because Dante he was having a background actor moment, honestly, because again, I don't know if it was with Lucy, I don't know if it was with Drew, but he was just there like, what the, huh? Do we know what? Like his facial expressions were just all over the place in one intense moment. I can't remember who it was, but it was happening.
Yep. Okay. And so we did the comedy, we did What Had Me Hot, we did Who Called for That.
Yep.
Do you have a villain of the week?
Well, obviously Drew. He had no reason to be there. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. He had reason. He had
no legit reason.
Right.
No call to be there. He had no invitation.
Right. He had no call to be there.
He was not on the guest list
He was not. He was not. And he had the audacity to think that the people would want him there. So he had no one to blame but himself getting wheeled out.
Indeed. Okay. My villain of the week is absolutely ridiculous. I'm just letting you know that up front.
Okay.
My villain of the week is Olivia, and I know you heard me hollering about this the whole time this has happened. I am giving Olivia the villain of the week because she gave the staff the week off, or the day off for the funeral.
Yeah.
And she decided she was making food, and she got this food coming out of the oven, and it's just 2 and 3 pieces of pigs on a blanket, 2 and 3 pieces of mini croissant. It's a funeral. You have people at the house. Put some food in the oven. You're Italian. Feed the people them. I was so irritated.
Sorry. Okay, I misunderstood what you meant by 2 and 3 pieces. You were upset that she's putting appetizers out and not actual food.
No. You can put out the appetizers. But if you see the tray, there is 16 people in the house. There are 8 pieces of appetizers coming out of the oven or on a tray. This is what you're carrying out to the people in the living room? Put some food. But you know.
Oh yeah, I also have to.
Put 20 enough 50-11 tea pieces of appetizers on the ting. I don't know what this 2 and 3 piece of ting is.
Sorry, I also forgot. I'm gonna briefly give a hero to Lois because she didn't have to do it.
She intervened and then wasn't even at the funeral. That was something.
I can understand. Wow. I can understand why she didn't go.
I guess.
Because honestly, like, yes, even though she didn't know Gio was going to be there, I think...
Oh, that would not have... Gio perspective.
Yeah, that wouldn't have turned out well. I think even though, her and Brooklyn made a little headway on the boardwalk, I still also think it wouldn't have been good. And then she briefly, there was that conversation.
That is a little bit rude, though.
There was briefly a little conversation between Dante and Olivia about Lois helping out, and Olivia still wasn't open. So I'm like, yeah, no, I can understand why Lois didn't go. As much as she would want to be there to support,
Yeah, I can understand why she didn't go. It just, again, I think she was a key part of the family. I think she probably should have been there, but there's no shit, I suppose. But you call her to help get Tracy come back, but she don't get an invite to the cookout
again.
But I get it. I think your point is absolutely valid.
And
you should have called her to help.
No, but I also think she knew. She's like,
yeah.
It's like yes, I still lived there and everything, but I probably still wasn't close to Monica, even though Monica and I might have had a decent relationship. I still don't think I think she was expecting not to get an invitation. So if you're not like. It's like how I know, like, a bunch of my friends are getting married. It's like, yes, we were friends, but it's like, we're not close now like that I can expect them to, like, getting an invitation would be nice, but it's like, I'm not expecting to get one. I'm like, I'll send my congratulations and that'd be that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that's what it's like.
Either what it is. She knew without her, Olivia wasn't going to cook enough food, so she wasn't coming to be starved out. So ridiculous.
Either way.
If nothing else, order some pizza from the Thanksgiving pizza place.
Oh my God.
Put some food. So.
Anyway.
Yes. Okay.
Any predictions or theories on your end?
No, not beyond what you just said. Really.
Okay.
Like, yeah, Erica Slazak's character is gonna be there for the destruction of the Quartermaines in some way, or she's gonna try it anyways.
She's gonna try. Because as we know, when push comes to shove, the Quartermaines might, be at each other's throats at times, but when it comes to their family, they are protective on a level. Yep,
absolutely. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't know where the Nathan story's gonna go. Like, I cannot guess it. I mean, what seems an obvious prediction is Cesar is alive. I'm hoping it's a different C. But whoever he is, clearly he's got tabs on Britt enough to know she was in Port Charles in that room.
Right? I was gonna say
that was too much.
That was, okay.
Portia's gonna implode. Yay.
Yeah.
She could just leave town with Marshall, or else give her a story that we can get our teeth into.
For me, just switch the actress because she's getting on my nerves.
Yeah, well, as far as the actress, both she and Jordan could go as far as I'm concerned.
But then again, I say that, and then you might replace her with someone I don't like. But anyway,
so yeah.
In terms of my theories and predictions, again, I don't really know where this is going in terms of the, Erica thing. Gio's storyline, I think we're going to get more of that, and his relationship will slowly improve. Because again, as everyone kept saying, baby steps.
Yep.
I don't know where the whole attempted murder on Drew thing is gonna go, so we'll see on that one, because right now it's the two main suspects are Michael and Curtis, because Curtis is missing at the time of the shooting, and Michael's alibi for the time of the shooting is with an escort. So they're like,
yeah, but I don't think we're gonna see anything of that until we get to the end of October and get closer to November sweeps.
Right. We still have the Willow custody situation, and I think that's also gonna play.
We're gonna see that sooner.
Yeah. But I think it also might kind of also lead into November sweeps as well.
Perhaps
a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then lastly, the Nathan thing. I'm like, as they said, Maxie might not come back till November, possibly the New Year. So I'm hoping she does, but there's no guarantee on that. But I'm very much looking forward to seeing how the Nathan thing goes with Liesl and them, and then as well as James and them. And then overall, finally, I had one theory, and I hope to God it's not the case. But I had said, imagine if Drew. And if Monica had written in her will that Drew got the house.
Oh, yes.
And then he kicks everybody out.
See,
that'd be a nightmare.
It would be a nightmare, but I'm here for that, because that would be an interesting story, I think, depending on how they write it out. I think that would be an interesting story, so I'm here for that. The story that I need to come back and have it wrapped up, or give us a throwaway line again, and tie that up with a neat-ish bow. Joss in the WSB having killed Cyrus, right? Because as far as I know, the charge is still pending against Jason.
Yeah, and that might come up, because I know they're supposed to bring Joss in for a WSB thing,
right? So I want that tied up, or bring it back as a story, and then
no, he's dead. I was like, wouldn't it be he died after Britt died. I'm like, that'd be so wrong if Cyrus. He's the only one who fits the C, but I'm like, why would he? That's why I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
And they never met, as far as we know.
That's why I'm like, it also doesn't make sense.
Now that could be interesting, because they never did find Cyrus's body.
Nope.
So that could be interesting.
Oh, I almost forgot. One thing I would like to see come to fruition, though, is Michael actually getting proof that Willow's the one who's been messing with Sasha. Because they brought that up once and they haven't brought it up again. But then again, they're like, we don't really have much proof.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. But still, since Sasha's not on the canvas anymore, right? No. That her contract ended.
That's why I'm like, I just need you to like throw just a little nugget, just like a little thing to throw Willow off and be like, how does he know?
Right.
And start panicking.
Yes, and that would be the thing. if I had a wish list, I would like General Hospital writers to straighten out these timelines. Because we already know that the reason that Michael and Sasha slept together is because he had seen Willow and Drew sleeping together. So straighten out that timeline, and then also straighten out the timeline with, you know, not that it's as important, but with Portia sleeping with Isaiah and Jordan. Is that the timeline I was thinking about? Possibly. Anyway.
I don't know.
You know.
But overall.
Yep.
That's pretty much it.
Pretty much.
This episode went a little bit longer than I expected.
Yeah, me too. And you know, can we see Sidwell get his and get him off the canvas? Keep Marco, but get rid of Sidwell. That would be nice.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, and also I'm gonna quickly mention it because it did come up and I was like, oh yes, actually this might work. Is that Martin had come back to Drew and had said, I don't think the injunction is going to work because, you know, the filing and whatever.
Oh yeah, and then Drew said, I don't really care.
Right. Yeah. So I'm like, hopefully the judge is against the injunction. So
yep.
Anyway,
cool.
Yeah.
All right. So come back next week for a little more soap.
And hopefully a hell of a lot of sass.
All right. Have a great